Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel. I'm Sophia, and I'm so glad you decided to spend this time with us today.
And I'm Jake. Wherever you are listening, from your room, your car, a quiet cafe, or somewhere outdoors, we hope you feel relaxed and comfortable.
Today, we are talking about an experience that can be painful, but is also a normal part of life, dealing with rejection.
Rejection happens when we want or ask for something, but the answer is no.
You might be rejected after applying for a job, asking someone on a date, sharing a creative idea, or trying to enter a school or program.
It can also happen in friendships. Maybe you invite someone to spend time with you, but they are not interested or do not respond.
Even small moments of rejection can hurt because human beings naturally want to feel accepted, respected, and included.
And when rejection is connected to something important, we may begin to question our abilities or our value.
In this episode, we'll explore why rejection feels so personal and how we can respond to it in a healthy and confident way.
We'll also learn useful B1 to B2 expressions for talking about disappointment, confidence, emotional recovery, and trying again.
You don't need to understand every word perfectly. Listen for the main ideas and notice the expressions that could be useful in your own conversations.
Before we go deeper, here is a question for you to keep in mind. How do you usually react when someone tells you no?
Maybe you feel disappointed for a short time and then move forward.
Or perhaps you continue thinking about the rejection for several days and wonder what you did wrong.
There is no need to judge your answer. Just notice how you normally feel and behave in that situation.
Sophia, would you say that you handle rejection well?
I handle it much better now than I did in the past, but I still don't enjoy it. I don't think anyone wakes up and says, "I hope someone rejects me today."
That would be a very unusual morning goal.
Exactly. Rejection is uncomfortable, even when we understand that it is a natural part of life.
Can you remember a rejection that was especially difficult for you?
Yes. A few years ago, I applied for a position that I really wanted. It involved creative work, communication, and the chance to learn new skills.
It sounds like the job matched your interests very well.
It did. When I read the job description, I immediately imagined myself working there.
Did you feel confident about your application?
Very confident. I spent hours improving my resume, wrote a careful cover letter, and practiced answers to possible interview questions.
So you put a lot of effort into the process.
Yes, and I reached the final interview. The conversation went well, and the interviewer seemed pleased with my answers.
At that point, did you expect to receive an offer?
I tried not to expect too much, but in my mind, I had already accepted the job, decorated my desk, and become friends with everyone in the office.
Our imagination can move much faster than reality.
It really can. A few days later, I received an email saying that they had chosen another candidate.
How did you feel when you read it?
My heart sank. That expression means I suddenly felt very disappointed or worried.
For example, you could say, "My heart sank when I saw the rejection email."
Exactly. The email was polite, but all I really saw was the word "unfortunately."
That word has introduced a lot of disappointing news.
Yes, when an email begins with "unfortunately," you already know it probably will not improve your afternoon.
What did you do after reading it?
At first, I stared at the screen and read the message several times. Then I began asking myself what was wrong with me.
That is a common reaction. We receive one rejection and quickly turn it into a judgment about our whole identity.
Instead of thinking, I didn't get this particular job, I thought, maybe I'm not talented enough to do this kind of work.
Those two thoughts are very different. The first describes one event, while the second makes a negative statement about who you are.
Yes, but when emotions are strong, it can be difficult to separate the event from your sense of self-worth.
Self-worth means the value and respect you believe you have as a person.
Rejection can affect our self-worth because it feels like another person or organization has examined us and decided that we are not good enough.
But that is rarely the complete meaning of the situation.
Exactly. A company may choose someone with more experience, a different skill, or a background that matches a specific need.
Their decision may be about timing, competition, or circumstances that you cannot see.
But our minds often create the most personal and painful explanation.
We say, they rejected me because I am not intelligent, interesting, attractive, or capable.
This is called taking something personally. It means believing that another person's action is mainly a judgment about you.
Sometimes feedback really is personal and useful, but rejection does not always provide a clear picture of your ability or value.
Jake, have you ever taken a rejection too personally?
Definitely. When I was younger, I asked a friend if he wanted to start a small business project with me.
What kind of project was it?
We planned to design simple websites for local businesses. I was excited and had already created a long list of ideas.
And what did your friend say?
He said he was not interested because he wanted to focus on his studies and did not have enough time.
That sounds like a reasonable explanation.
It does now. At the time, however, I heard something completely different. I thought he was saying that my idea was terrible and that he did not trust me.
Did he actually say either of those things?
No, not at all. My imagination added those details for free.
What happened between you after that?
I became quiet and distant for a few days. He noticed and asked if I was upset with him.
Were you able to explain how you felt?
Eventually, yes. He told me that he liked the idea, but honestly could not make the commitment.
A commitment is a responsibility or promise that requires your time and effort.
That conversation taught me something important. Sometimes people are rejecting an invitation, a plan, or a situation, not rejecting you as a person.
That distinction can completely change how we understand the word no.
Yes, someone can care about you and still refuse your invitation, disagree with your idea, or choose a different opportunity.
Their answer may be connected to their own needs, energy, schedule, or personal situation.
But when we feel hurt, we often forget that other people have complicated lives that are not centered on us.
So, how can we deal with rejection without pretending that it does not hurt?
I think the first step is to acknowledge the feeling.
Acknowledge means to recognize and accept that something exists or is true.
You can say, I feel disappointed because this opportunity mattered to me.
That is healthier than saying, I don't care, when you clearly do care.
Exactly. Acting as if you feel nothing may only push the emotion away for a short time.
Then it can return later, sometimes when you were trying to sleep at 2 in the morning.
That is when the brain likes to organize a surprise meeting about every painful moment from your past.
You don't have to become positive immediately. Give yourself permission to feel sad, embarrassed, or frustrated.
At the same time, try not to let one feeling become your entire identity.
Instead of saying, I am a failure, say, I feel disappointed because something I wanted did not happen.
The first sentence defines you. The second sentence describes a temporary experience.
That small change in language creates emotional distance and reminds you that feelings can pass.
Another helpful expression is give yourself time to process it.
To process an experience means to think about it and gradually understand your emotional reaction.
Some people recover quickly, while others need several days. There is no perfect schedule for feeling better.
But processing rejection is different from repeatedly criticizing yourself.
Yes, reflection asks useful questions, while self-criticism simply attacks you.
A useful question might be, is there something I can learn from this experience?
An unhelpful question might be, why am I always such a failure?
Words like always and never can make one painful event seem like a permanent pattern.
You might say, no one will ever hire me, after receiving only one rejection.
Or nobody will ever love me after one person says they are not interested.
Those thoughts feel real in the moment, but they are predictions, not facts.
Let's return to your business idea. Did you continue working on it after your friend said no?
Not immediately. For a while, I lost confidence and put the idea aside.
Put something aside means to stop focusing on it for a period of time.
A few weeks later, I looked at the idea again and asked myself whether I still believed it was worth trying.
What was your answer?
I realized that I did. My friend's decision changed my original plan, but it did not prove that the idea was bad.
So you separated his choice from the value of your project.
Exactly. I started alone, created a simple example website, and contacted a few small businesses.
Did anyone respond positively?
The first 3 businesses did not respond at all.
That must have been discouraging after you had already experienced one rejection.
It was. I checked my emails so often that my inbox probably felt uncomfortable.
That must have been disappointing after you had already experienced one rejection.
It was. I checked my emails so often that my inbox probably felt uncomfortable.
What kept you going?
I set a small goal. Contact 10 businesses before deciding whether the idea had potential.
That was smart because you chose a fair test instead of judging the idea after only 1 or 2 attempts.
The 5th business replied and agreed to meet with me. They eventually became my first client.
That shows why rejection can sometimes redirect us instead of stopping us.
Yes. Redirect means to send something in a different direction.
Your original plan was to work with your friend, but his refusal pushed you to develop new skills independently.
And, working alone, showed me which parts I could manage and where I needed help.
Of course, not every rejection leads to an immediate success story.
Definitely not. Sometimes we try again and receive another no, and then another one after that.
Repeated rejection can be especially difficult because it slowly reduces our motivation.
This is where resilience becomes important. Resilience is the ability to recover and continue after difficulty.
Being resilient does not mean that rejection never hurts you.
It means that the pain does not permanently prevent you from taking meaningful action.
One way to build resilience is to focus on what you can control.
You cannot control whether a company hires you, whether a person likes your idea, or whether someone wants a relationship with you.
But you can control how well you prepare, how respectfully you communicate, and what you do after receiving the answer.
You can improve your resume, practice your interview skills, revise your work, or search for another opportunity.
This does not guarantee success, but it gives your energy a useful direction.
It is usually more helpful than replaying the situation and wishing you could change another person's decision.
Do you think people should ask for feedback after being rejected?
When the situation is appropriate, yes. Constructive feedback can show you what to improve.
Constructive feedback is advice that is specific, useful, and intended to help you grow.
For example, after an interview, you might write, "Thank you for letting me know. If possible, I would appreciate any feedback that could help me improve."
That sounds professional and calm, even if you are disappointed.
Yes, but you should also prepare for the possibility that they may not reply or may only give a general answer.
And not all feedback is equally valuable. One person's opinion is still only one perspective.
If several people mention the same issue, however, it may be a useful pattern to examine.
Perhaps several interviewers say that you need clearer examples, or several editors say that your writing needs stronger organization.
Then rejection becomes information. It may still hurt, but it also gives you something practical to work on.
We should also talk about romantic rejection, because it often feels deeply personal.
Yes. When someone does not return your feelings, you may believe that you are unattractive or unworthy of love.
But attraction and connection are complex. A person can be kind, interesting, and valuable without being the right match for someone else.
You do not need to prove that the other person made a mistake or persuade them to change their feelings.
Respecting their answer protects their boundaries and your dignity.
And accepting a clear no allows you to begin letting go, even when part of you still wishes the answer were different.
Letting go can take time, especially when you had strong hopes about what might happen.
Yes, because you are not only releasing a person or opportunity, you may also be releasing the future you imagined.
That imagined future can feel very real, even though it never actually happened.
You may need to stop checking someone's social media, rereading old messages, or creating reasons to contact them again.
Those actions can keep the emotional wound open instead of allowing it to heal.
Creating some distance is not rude or dramatic. Sometimes it is a healthy way to protect yourself while you recover.
You can spend time with supportive people, return to activities you enjoy, and take care of your physical health.
Simple things like sleeping well, exercising, and leaving the house will not remove every painful feeling, but they can make recovery easier.
It is also important not to compare your rejection with someone else's success.
Maybe your friend gets the job you wanted, enters a happy relationship, or receives an opportunity soon after you were rejected.
You can feel happy for your friend and disappointed for yourself at the same time. Two emotions can exist together. Feeling sad about your own situation does not make you a bad friend.
Social media can make comparison especially difficult because we usually see people's good news, not all the rejection that came before it.
We see the new job announcement, but we do not see the 20 unanswered applications.
We see the successful business, but we do not see the ideas that failed or the people who said no.
Comparing your private struggle with someone else's public success is rarely fair.
Another way to handle rejection is to create more than one source of meaning in your life.
What do you mean by that?
If your entire identity depends on one job, one relationship, or one goal, rejection in that area can make your whole life feel empty.
But if your life also includes friendships, interests, learning, health, and personal values, one rejection does not take everything away. It still matters, but it becomes one difficult part of a much larger life.
That reminds me of the expression, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket."
It means you should not depend completely on only one possibility.
For example, if you're looking for work, applying to several suitable positions can protect you from becoming emotionally dependent on one company.
Of course, we should not become so afraid of disappointment that we stop caring deeply about anything.
That is an important point. Some people protect themselves from rejection by never taking a risk.
They do not apply, ask, share, or try because they believe avoiding rejection will keep them safe.
But avoiding every possible no also prevents them from receiving a yes.
Courage is not feeling completely confident before you act.
Sometimes courage is sending the application while feeling nervous, or sharing your idea while knowing that others may not accept it.
Every time you take a healthy risk, you prove that you can survive an uncertain answer.
And when you survive rejection, it becomes less powerful. You begin to understand that disappointment is painful but temporary.
Jake, if someone received an important rejection today, what would you want to tell them?
I would say, do not make a permanent judgment about yourself because of one temporary result.
That is worth remembering. A rejection is an event, not an identity.
I would also remind them that they do not need to learn a beautiful lesson immediately.
Sometimes people say everything happens for a reason when the pain is still very fresh.
They usually want to help, but that sentence can feel dismissive if you are not ready to hear it.
Dismissive describes words or behavior that makes someone's feelings seem unimportant.
A more supportive response might be, I know this mattered to you, and I'm sorry it didn't work out.
You can support yourself in the same way, with honesty, patience, and kindness.
Then, when you feel ready, you can decide whether to try again, change your approach, or move in a different direction.
Let's review some useful words and expressions from our conversation.
First, my heart sank means that I suddenly felt disappointed, worried, or upset.
Take something personally means to believe that someone's action is a negative judgment about you.
Acknowledge your feelings means to recognize and accept how you feel.
Process and experience means to think about it and gradually understand its emotional effect.
Put something aside means to stop working on or thinking about it temporarily.
Constructive feedback is specific and useful advice that can help you improve.
Let go means to stop holding on emotionally to a person, hope, or past situation.
And bounce back means to recover after a difficult experience.
For example, you could say, the rejection was disappointing, but I gave myself time to process it and eventually bounced back.
You can pause here and repeat that sentence aloud for speaking and pronunciation practice.
Then try changing it to match your experience. I felt rejected when, but I bounced back by.
Before we finish, remember that rejection often means you were brave enough to ask, apply, create, connect, or try.
It may show that you stepped outside your comfort zone and allowed yourself to want something meaningful.
Give yourself time to feel disappointed, but do not let another person's answer define your worth.
Learn from useful feedback, release what you cannot control, and remain open to other possibilities.
Our question of the day is, what helps you recover after rejection?
You can write, "When I experience rejection, I help myself by..."
Share your answer in the comments if you feel comfortable, and try using one expression from today's conversation.
Reading other learners' answers can also remind us that rejection is something everyone experiences.
Thank you for spending this calm and meaningful time with us on Chill English Channel.
If you enjoyed the episode, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and remember that one no cannot decide your entire future.
Take care of yourself, keep moving forward, and we'll see you soon on Chill English Channel.